Hello and good evening. Today it's Wednesday, April 20th, 2020. And for this video today, I'd like to take some time to talk about the Arizona Coyotes because in my opinion, it's time for the National Hockey League to make one final decision about the Coyotes' future in Arizona. You know, it seems like every single year now, there's constantly talk about whether this team is going to relocate out of Arizona or stay. And basically, the Coyotes' relocation talks have been going on for well over a decade now. And, I am tired of hearing about it every single year, at the end of every single season. And, I think it's time for the National Hockey League to either A, figure out a permanent solution for this team to stay in Arizona long term, or B, finally cut your losses and move the team already. My heart goes out to you Coyotes fans out there. I mean, I've had a change of heart over the years where even as recently as 5 years ago, I would have said, you know what, screw Arizona, move the Coyotes, who cares? Nobody cares about the Coyotes. That's true. That's how I used to think. But, over the years, I've had a bit of a change of heart because, at the end of the day, you got to put yourself in the fans' shoes here that care about the Coyotes, because how would you feel if this was your team? If your favorite team, like for example, if you were an Ottawa Senators fan, I use the Senators as an example because the players are in the photo as well that I'm using. But how would you feel if you were an Ottawa Senators fan or a Detroit Red Wings fan or a Blackhawks fan and your team was being considered as a team that could be relocated because they've been struggling? You wouldn't feel very good about it either. And I think that we, as hockey fans and as sports fans in general, I think we have to put ourselves in Coyotes fans' shoes because we would be pretty unhappy if our favorite teams were being talked about for relocation, let alone, and even worse, if our teams were relocated, like we have seen in recent years with, for example, the San Diego Chargers and the St. Louis Rams in the NFL. And now that at the end of the season, the Coyotes have actually literally been kicked out of Gila River Arena by the city of Glendale, Arizona. But now what the Coyotes and the NHL have done is they have made a 3-season agreement with Arizona State University to play in the new hockey arena that can only fit about 5,000 seats, that is being currently built for the Arizona State University Sun Devils hockey team. And in my opinion, I'm happy for the Coyotes fans that at least this team will stay in Arizona for a few more seasons, and hopefully we won't have to hear about relocation rumors for at least another season or two with this team. However, at the end of this 3-season stint that the Coyotes will have playing at Arizona State University's brand new hockey arena, at the end of this 3-season stint, if the Coyotes and the NHL have still not been able to figure out a long-term plan to have an arena built either in Tempe, Arizona, or better yet, somewhere in downtown Phoenix, then in my opinion, it is time for this team to be relocated. I think enough's enough. There's got to come a point in time where either you can make this work, or after all these years, I hate to say this, but there comes a point in time where I feel that you got to pull this team off of life support eventually. I mean, how long can this franchise continue to be on the NHL's life support? This team has changed ownership hands numerous times over the past 12 years, 12 plus seasons. And, Are they going to get to a point where they just say, look, if we can't get an arena built somewhere with a better population area like Tempe, Arizona, or downtown Phoenix, well, in my opinion, there comes a point where you gotta accept that that this is not working. I feel really bad because even though before, as recently as 5 years ago, as I said earlier, where I felt that, you know what, this franchise should just be relocated and enough's enough. I hope that after everything the NHL has done to keep this team in Arizona, that they can find a permanent solution to build a new NHL arena that can actually seat at least 18,000 fans, or at least 17,000 fans even, and make this a long-term solution where the Coyotes can actually succeed in Arizona. I have to be honest with you viewers watching. When I hear Gary Bettman over the years saying, oh, hockey's never been better in Arizona and we think Arizona's a good hockey market, I'm not going to lie. I'm a huge skeptic because, from what I have seen over the years, I don't see what Gary Bettman and the NHL owners see. I don't know if hockey really has ever been better in Arizona because every time I turn and look at the Arizona Coyotes when they're playing in their home arena in Glendale, Arizona at Gila River Arena, all I see is constantly a struggle to draw fans. Now, as I say that, I do agree with anyone who says that the Coyotes' biggest mistake was moving from downtown Phoenix to the suburbs out in Glendale, Arizona. The difference between the Coyotes and the Arizona Cardinals in the NFL is that the Cardinals only have one home game a week at the most. Okay, maybe two if they play a Thursday night game. But it is a lot easier for a team to draw a big crowd, even in the suburbs, when they play one home game a week, usually on a Sunday afternoon. When a team like the Coyotes are an NHL team where they play 41 home games a year, especially when those games start in the evening and they're on a lot of times on weeknights, I could see how it would be a struggle for Coyotes fans to drive from downtown Phoenix out to the suburbs in Arizona, where if there's a lot of traffic, I don't know what the traffic situations are like between downtown Phoenix, Tempe, and Glendale, Arizona, where the Coyotes are about to stop playing in at the end of this current 2021-22 season. If there's a lot of traffic, 41 games a year, and especially when a lot of those games are played on weeknights, I could see there being an attendance issue. There's no question about it, at least in my view. But as I say that though, I don't know how the Coyotes did when they played in downtown Phoenix originally. I'm sure it would have been a lot better than what they've had in Glendale. Now, when the last time the Coyotes did play in downtown Phoenix, truth is, I was just a little kid, so I had no idea how they did in downtown Phoenix. But from what I've heard, supposedly their attendance was quite a bit better. Was that just because of the honeymoon phase that Phoenix had, for the fact that they had an NHL team for the very first time? That they were the new kids on the block, so to speak? I'm not sure, but I will say this, though. In my opinion, there is absolutely no question that this team would do a lot better if they played in downtown Phoenix. I do believe for sure that attendance would be a lot better. And that's why I'm saying that, I do hope that they can build an arena in either downtown Phoenix or even Tempe, Arizona, because I think that the Coyotes' attendance situation would be a lot better if they played in an area that had a much better population and was not out in the suburbs. But also, I do believe that if this team could finally get an NHL arena in a bigger population area like Tempe or downtown Phoenix, I want to believe that this team can turn their attendance woes around. But unfortunately, I'm still very much a skeptic. I'm still at a point where I have to see this team have attendance success to believe that hockey is actually feasible in Arizona. Truth is, even though I'm a skeptic, I want Arizona to prove me wrong. You know, the National Hockey League has tried so hard to keep this team in Arizona, but I have my doubts. And I still don't know if I can agree with the idea and the notion that Arizona is a good hockey market. I'm still very much a skeptic. After all these years, if hockey has never been better in Arizona, as Gary Bettman has said at least once as far as I can remember, if hockey's never been better, then why is it that this team continues to struggle? And why is it that ownership groups have come and gone multiple times with this team? I have to be honest, when I hear that there's an arena that is NHL compatible in Houston, I do feel that Houston would be a better fit for this team. They already play in the Central Division, and if they did move to Houston, they would have an instant rivalry with the Dallas Stars. And Houston does have hockey history. Notable hockey history, in fact. They had an American Hockey League team, and they also had the Houston Aeros of the World Hockey Association. The American Hockey League team was also named the Aeros, by the way. And, when I think of the hockey history that the city of Houston, Texas has had, and their population, and as far as I know, the fact that the Toyota Center is in downtown Houston as well, I'm pretty sure it is. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. And also, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on the pronunciation of Tempe, Arizona, by the way. But, when I look at the fact that they have basically an arena that I'm pretty sure is in downtown Houston where the Houston Rockets play in the NBA, I think that a team in Houston would be a good fit for the NHL. The instant rivalry with Dallas, I think the hockey history in Houston as well. I think a team there, I think that if the Coyotes played in Houston instead of Arizona, I do think that it would be an improvement for the team. There would be a better following. There would be better attendance. And, as I say that all that though, my heart does go out to you Coyotes fans out there who do care. I know there are hockey fans that care about this team. There's no question about it. There has to be. And I feel bad for those fans. I really do. And, I do hope that this team can get a new NHL-ready arena built in a much better area in Arizona, whether it's downtown Phoenix or Tempe instead of the suburbs out in Glendale. That would be a huge, huge improvement for this team. And I do hope it can happen because I do feel that if that was the case where they did get a new arena, even in Tempe, I do believe that I have a sneaking suspicion the attendance woes would be a lot less. I do think their attendance situation would be a whole lot better, which would be great. But now that they're playing in a 5,000 seat facility for the next 3 seasons, when this agreement is done, I mean, if there is still no permanent plan for an NHL arena in Tempe or downtown Phoenix, I think it's time for the NHL to take this team off of life support finally, if that's the case. I hate saying it, but the thing is, how much longer can this team continue to be on life support? I don't know. It's just, I mean, at least they'll have a better chance of playing in front of a full crowd every night. I do think a 5,000 seat arena will give the Coyotes a much better fan atmosphere for their home games, which I'm happy to say. I mean, the fact that they're being kicked out of Glendale now, at least they've now got 3 seasons, and this 3-season agreement will bide time for this team, the owners of the Coyotes, and the NHL to hopefully figure out a plan to work with Tempe or either the city of Phoenix for an NHL arena to be built. But by the end of this 3-season stint at Arizona State University's arena, if they still have not been able to dot the I's and cross the T's and get shovels in the ground for a new arena to be built, I think that they've got to take this team off of life support, unfortunately. It's what it is. If after these 3 seasons are up and they still have not been able to get the money together, get through all the red tape and logistics required to even get shovels in the ground to start building a new arena for this team, then I think it's time for this team to finally be pulled off of life support. You know, even looking back at the Atlanta Thrashers, as much as I'm so happy that Winnipeg is back in the NHL, you know, I have never seen a league try so hard to keep a team in its existing location, especially with the struggles that the Coyotes have had. Truth is, I still don't see what the NHL sees in Arizona as a hockey market. But you know, I hope that both the NHL and their fans can prove me wrong. I really do. I hope that they can get a new arena built, but I'm still a skeptic. And to me, I wonder, when's enough going to be enough? I mean, I do hope that at the end of this 3-season period at this Arizona State University arena, that they will have a new arena being built by then. But if they can't get it done after this 3-season stint's done, I think it's finally time to pull this team off of life support. And that's why I think that after that, it's got to a point, and in my opinion, it's long overdue for the NHL to make a final decision about the franchise's future. Are they staying in Arizona, make a final plan to keep this team in Arizona permanently, or B, finally admit that this hasn't worked and move the team out of Arizona already? Because enough's enough as far as I'm concerned. Now, how do you feel about what I've said in this video? I'd love to hear other people's thoughts on this. Feel free to comment down below. As I say, I really hope that for the Coyotes fans' sake and for Arizona's sake, that the NHL, whether it's downtown Phoenix or Tempe, and the Coyotes ownership can get something done and get a new arena built there for once and for all. Or at the end of this 3-season period at Arizona State's new arena, as I say, if a new arena isn't being built by then, or there's plans and the works, then I think it's time for this team to finally be relocated out of Arizona. But anyways, feel free to comment down below. I'd love to hear people's opinions on this. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? I'd be curious to hear your thoughts down below. But with that, folks, I'm going to call it a wrap at this point. Until my next video, take care, and as I always say, bye for now.